Hello, my name is DC. I'll be giving a match analysis for Al Hilal versus Al Fateh, a match filled with many goals. I would like to say before I start, I do not have my headset slash mic, so please forgive me if the audio doesn't sound too good. All right, let's get into this one. Lots of goals, and also Mitrovic scored. Loved watching him when he was at Fulham. You know, the big number 9 that can bring the ball down and also score some goals. Alright, I assume this is the first chance of the game. This is simple. Simple football leads to you scoring goals. I don't know if it's a network issue, but I am skipping quite a bit. Hopefully that gets sorted out. By sorted it out, alright, so he's telling him what to do. I don't know if he's telling him to cover this area so that he can try and get the ball, or he's just pointing for the sake of, like, I don't know. Because at this point, if you are really good center backs, not really good center backs, but really good teammates, you don't necessarily have to point, because you just give a little signal and they'll know exactly what to do. Because let's just bring this back a bit. Yeah, somewhere here. Alright, he has the ball, and now both of them are following. Alright, so this is the problem I have. They're just escorting him, knowing very well there's someone out here. If he was alone, I would understand them just escorting him outside of this particular region, because the ball can be put in the back of the net. But the fact that there is someone else that the ball could be played into, and rather than put pressure on him, so that they can put pressure or just force him to play one side, and then most likely if he goes here they can probably block it. The fact is there's another player here. I understand he's far away. He doesn't have the ball, but there's a possibility the ball can go to him and it can be crossed. I'll be focused on putting more pressure so that this guy isn't allowed to run down the line. Alright, let's play it forward. So they just give him all the time in the world on the ball, and you know what, there's no point in two people being near the ball if no one is going to go for the ball. For me personally, I see it as pointless. There's no reason for both of you to be following him if you have no intention to get the ball. You're better off one stays here, one stays a bit deeper, and then you just prepare or anticipate for him playing the ball to this man here. And as we can see, before we even move any further, there is I could say back three, because I assume one of the players that's supposed to be here is the one that's here. So everything seems well there, but here, if you're not going to get the ball, you're better off going somewhere else, because it's very frustrating, because they're in a really good position to get the ball back. Instead, they just watch him. Look at that. Look at how simple that. Look at how much time he has, and there's a runner, unmarked, coming, barreling down, and because you have failed to put pressure on the ball or just force the ball one way, you've given the other team enough time for someone to come into this region here and run and provide a lane, or an option to pass the ball to. And now let's play this further. And then it's so easy, because two people, this is why there's certain areas of the pitch where you can allow to be a bit more passive when defending, but if it's near your box, you have to be much more aggressive, because of especially if it's in the wings, because there's a probability of a cross, going in your box. And then this cross is it's a really well hit cross. Boom, unmarked, in between two defenders, heads it into the back of the net. And it's because these guys are so passive. This is not a place where you should be passive. This is a place where what you want to do is either force them backwards or make them pass sideways, because modern football nowadays, most teams, rather than take a shot from here, what they would rather do is pass it around, hoping to find someone in between the lines, and then they do their stuff. Yeah, at least force them here so that you force them, to do the sideways thing. But this is just too passive. You're supposed to be more aggressive in getting the ball. And yeah, he has all the time in the world to put in a good cross, and that's a good goal. ball is played wide. Once again, the same problem, just on a different flank. Same problem. Alright, so ball is played into him, right? Here I have no problem. Here is where I have the problem. He has the time and space to look down, look up, look down, and then cross the ball. That's just way too much, and he should really be closer to him. He should be closer, because the problem is, I think it's one of those things where I think it's very few teams that cross the ball into the box, because most of them are looking to play out the back and do all this fancy tiki-taka stuff. Sometimes what you need, person on the wing, cross in the box, and then you create chances. And I assume he's the one that scores the goal, so he starts here from the D or slash semicircle, whatever you want to call it, unmarked. He continues to the box. He should have pushed on further. He goes in between the two defenders, not really in between, but right. So for example, the defenders, one defender, two defenders. So rather than him being here, he's slightly behind them. So it's one of those that defender, he is very far away from the defenders and he's pretty open, and that's a really good header. But the fact that they let him, how can I say, pull that cross, or pull off that cross, because here, he has more that he slows down. You see there? He starts walking. And then to make matters worse, he turns. Because if he runs very hard, he gets in close enough proximity to block this. Because the way it is, he is here, right? And so if he runs full pelt and then he makes sure that he doesn't turn his body, he runs with his chest. By runs with his chest, I mean his chest is the one facing the ball. This is just, it's not drawn to scale, but approximately this is what is blocking the ball. This is what he has to block the ball. Assume these are arms, or should I say shoulders? Yeah, this is his chest. It's not very big, but it's enough to get a block on. But now if he turns, it means he's not leading with his chest, he's leading with his arm. And football players are very, very athletic, so they can be very athletic, which means they usually have, they're very slim, slender. And then what you find is that since he's leading with his arm, this is the only thing that he can block the ball with, because his chest is facing this way, and then his arms are here. So in short, the ball, it's very easy for him to pull out a cross, rather than if he's facing it with his chest like that, because there's a high likelihood it might hit his chest or, shoulders, stuff like that. But he's just given, because he definitely has enough time to block this. He has all the time. It's because he starts walking slowly. If he sprints to that, he probably blocks it. And then this year, it's a really good header. And it's because everyone's dropping back, which is good. But you have to be aware of the space you leave in behind, because that's where shots and headers, because this is a really good header. The pace is on the ball, yeah? Hey, how did that go in? Alright, let me try and play it back a bit. How? It just looks like, alright, so here, he just hits it. And up to now, I still don't know how that goes in. Oh no, the goal is cancelled. How is it offside? It looked like everyone was near the goal. Anyway, that happens. Playing out the back when you shouldn't be playing out the back. Lovely. Alright, so let's analyze why he loses the ball, or why they fail to play out the back, or just why this happens in the first place. Alright, so here's the problem already. He is facing this way. Because this does look like it comes from a goal kick, because I don't know, I think it's one of those where the keeper holds it, maybe a misplaced pass, or and then the keeper grabs it. But they had enough time to set this up. They have enough time to set this up, because he is facing this way, which is problematic, because it means he has to turn. if he wants to push the ball, he has to turn, and then it makes it much more difficult for him to pass. He does understand he's being pressured. And then here, Mitrovic, he's just lying in wait because he knows that he cannot be offside in case he misplaces the pass. Let's play it a bit forward. And then now, this guy here, yes, he does have to turn, but I'm pretty sure he knows there's someone he can play the ball here. And I don't think he has the... I don't know if it's a mistake because I don't usually watch this league. I wouldn't want to say he doesn't have the technical ability because, you know, I don't watch this league, so it might be a very inaccurate statement. But this seems like a pass that... Oh, he slips. He slips. He slips. And this is why when most teams are playing out the back, you want your players facing towards facing towards the other goal or facing towards the center circle. You don't want them to be facing towards the stands because it's much more harder and it's more likely you may misplace a pass or just make a mistake because you're not looking forward, you're looking back, and it's just more difficult to play out from the back like that. So they should have been facing this way because if not, the keeper should have just kicked it out if there was no one willing. So he slips. And also because of the pressure applied by this guy here, it does help in him. It does help to cause the player slip. And then Mitrovic, very simple, takes a touch and then he plays it so easily. At least he's following Mitrovic. He's not just, he's following him at least. Mitrovic spots the run and that's a good goal. He just lays it into him and yeah. And because it's during the build-up phase, there's less people that are near the box, so it's much more easier for them to score. Nice 1-2, lovely football, brilliant football. This is what football is supposed to be when you're talking about passing, not just aimless sideways passing, because it's because of the movement here. You see, he plays it, he continues his run, and then what he does, he has two options. He can follow him, the person that played the pass. He can follow him, the person that receives the pass. Or he can just stay where he was. So because he tries to, I don't know what he does, he tried to run out. Unfortunately, whatever he planned did not go to plan. And then since he's moved from here to here, it means now he's created space for the ball to be played in behind him. And then it seems as if he also wants to go for the ball. When, if we're being honest, both of them should just stay where they are. Because because I'm sure if he stays here, it's much more harder to pull that pass out because it's most likely he would have to run towards near the corner flag, to probably receive it, maybe put on a cross. But since he moves, he creates that space, and I don't know why he's trying to get the ball from where he is. It's very unlikely. The distance is just too much. And then this is really good football. I just like. See that he plays a lovely ball there, takes it into his stride, slots it into the back of the net, and that's a really good goal. It really is. Because it all comes from the simple fact, someone wanted to get, just because he moved. The defender here, so he fails, and because, he tried to go for the ball, he failed to go for the ball, and then now, I'd rather he just stays where he is, because what he does, since he's trying to go here, immediately this pass is played into this space. He has no chance towards getting that ball because of the way he is, because of his momentum has taken him this way, so it's taken him this way, so he can't go this way in time. And yeah, it's because let me just play it back a bit, because it feels as if he was following him. I don't know, let me just play that back, just to be sure. Yeah, he followed him. He assumed he was going to, attempt to go one-on-one. He didn't, and then he turns. He should have just followed him. He should have just followed him. If someone, especially in this region here, yeah. So he should have just followed him, because what it is that he attempted to block it. He was there to stop him from going 1v1, so he played the ball to his teammate. That's good. So now the problem is that he turns and then he wants to go and now attempt to intercept this one when he shouldn't have done that. I would have preferred he just follows this guy straight through. Just follow him for the sake of following him. Even if he drags you out, it's okay. It means that that pass will not be played. And then this is a lovely ball, and then this is a lovely finish. Okay, let's see what happens here. Played into space. Okay. Wow. Just wow. Let's play that back a bit. Oh, wow. Alright, so he flicks it up. He holds the ball up very well. He makes sure that his body is in between the defender and, his body is in between the defender and the ball. But here, this is just too much. Look at the distance. You could park 2 double-decker buses there, probably. You could probably park 2 double-decker buses there, in that space. But let's continue, because he is far away, so it means he has to, you have enough time to reach there. But they don't. Because, okay, number 5, he immediately snuffs it out. And then he is anticipating, because if you look at this, he assumes the player will take a touch here, will take a touch and he'll push it forward. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen, because as you can see, he's anticipated. Okay, it's one of those. Since he makes his move first, the attacker here sets his mind that I'm not going to go this way. That's where you are. I'm going to stop the ball and have a shot. So, I don't know. I just feel as if you would have at least reached somewhere here. Or not go all the way that side. At least if you force him down the line, it's better rather than you run there in advance and then he picks up on where you want to go, so he stops and then he has himself a shot. He has a shot. And the fact that no one is in proximity or close enough to block this shot is a bit sad. Really is. And there's nothing much the keeper can do there. Because so much time and space. So you see, he gambles. You would have just confused him a bit. Run like this, so that run straight, give him space, but leave enough space such that if he turns and shoots, you are able to put your body in the way. And if he does take it down the byline, you can still catch him. You probably have to slide tackle in order to block the pass or cut back. Yeah, he just holds it up. Enough time to, to take the shot. Quickly. Oh no. How do you leave Mitrovic unmarked in the box? How? Alright, so a cross was played and it fell to no one. Ball quickly gets recycled. And then here at this point, I can understand most of them are in the box. But if you're in the box, and I can understand this, I can understand this, like the ball being played, like the ball reaching someone that's at the edge of the box, or just outside the box, because most of the players were in the box defending the goal. I can understand that because you're trying to defend the lead. But the fact there's so many people in the box, and then you leave Mitrovic unmarked. Because if you look at this, 5 players here are heading. 5 players are heading to a ball they'll most likely not be able to reach. Because you can't be telling me all of these assume that they'll be able to put a challenge on this ball. I would rather one person goes, one person sorry. I'd rather one person goes and one just stays to cover him. These guys, they can stay back. They can just go back because you're just making it much more easier to score for the other team. Takes it, he crosses, and because everyone was running there, they've left so much space. Mitrovic unmarked in the box. That's an easy header for him. That is an easy header for Mitrovic. So yeah, everything is alright because you have done what you needed to do. You have made sure that the team has not scored, and then you forced them wide. Because I saw most people jumping. But here, how do you commit 5 bodies? How are 5 bodies committed to this? Because if you look at this, 5 people are going towards the ball, they will not reach. 5. And then if you look here, In their own box, they have been outnumbered. Because 1, 2, 3, 4 attacking players, 1, 2, 3 defensive players. I would rather two people at maximum go for this one. Because if not, in fact, I'll just have one. And then and then everyone else is supposed to be here. They're defending a lead. Like, there's no need. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's weird because I'd rather just have them in the box. Have one person go and try to block out that cross, but leave as many people in the box as you can. Since at this point you have accepted you're defending the box, not the wings or, byline, whatever they call it. Alright, last minutes of the game. That's deflected. But I don't know. Because I think once again I think they failed to play out from the back because I can't really tell with where where it starts from. Because yeah, I think they've made a mistake playing out the back, but they have more than enough people to deal with this. A ball gets played here. He knows he can't shoot it because he's immediately pressed. And then here we have Mitrovic, right? He gets the ball. He takes a touch. He has someone running behind him. And the way these guys are faced, all of them are looking at Mitrovic. All of them. All of them are looking at Mitrovic. He has all this time on the ball. In the 91st minute when you're trying to defend the lead. And no one is going out to pressure him. They're just like, he has all this time. He's taking a touch. He's touched the ball. And then, now this is just silly. Because Mitrovic is supposed to be immediately pressured. Because this is just way too much time. All of them stop. All of them are just joking. Just run, and then be able to stop in time so that you don't actually foul him. But just run and be much more closer. He can pass it to him, but there's still someone. You have more than enough people. Instead, all of them just wait. They give Mitrovic all the time in the world because no one wants to pressure the ball. And I really want to see how this goes in. And heads go down. Because I know it's deflected. Okay, look at that. Whoa, that is crazy. That is crazy. Oh no, a VAR check. No. Why was it? Why was it disallowed? Why was it disallowed? Why haven't they given us that decision? Why? Why have they not given? At least show us if it's offside or something. Like, I don't know why they decide not to include things like this in the highlights. Because I want to see why the goal is disallowed. All I've seen is VAR check. That's not enough. Alright, so let's see how this stems. Alright, so everyone is running back. Everyone is claiming for offside. Yeah, everyone is claiming for offside. And since everyone is running back, he heads it, yeah. But unfortunately, he heads it back into the center. And this is why if you're heading a ball, you're better off let it go for a throw in. Or if you're really, let it go as high as it can in the air so that as it's in the air, let it go very high in the air so that when it comes down, there's probably like enough people to deal with it. But this here, you drop it back down into the danger area, and then yes, you do try to commit. No, because by this time, everyone is back defending. No one wants to protect here. Everyone wants to be in front of the goalkeeper. And then you allow a player in the middle of the 18-yard line, slots it into the back of the net. He thought he scored, but he didn't. Now for me, I feel this was a harsh decision because they have not shown us the replay. They have not shown us the reason why. I don't know if it's offside. I don't know if there was a foul. Yeah, but I do feel this was a bit dodgy otherwise. 4-3. What a scoreline. And it's so depressing, man. You work just to score a goal and for that goal to be disallowed. Otherwise, very entertaining match. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. and I'll see you in the next match analysis.